I have familial adenomatous polyposis, or better known as FAP. For me, this is an inherited condition which resulted from a mutation in the APC gene. APC stands for adenomatous polyposis coli. APC is classified as a tumor suppressor gene. So the tumor suppressor genes prevent the uncontrolled growth of cells that may result in cancerous tumors. Mutations in the APC gene may result in colorectal cancer. So my APC gene is mutated. The tumor suppressor, it's not going to suppress the tumors. It's just going to make more and more of the polyps. So from what I know, this mutation goes back to my maternal grandmother who has FAP. She has 5 children, and out of those 5, 4 of them have FAP. And out of those 4, one was diagnosed with colon cancer at the age of 37. And this was just recently. For the past 10 years, my family has always told me to go get checked, and what they mean by going to get checked was to have a colonoscopy done. So I always put it off, and I thought nothing of it. Although I did have symptoms of FAP, I just kind of put it in the back of my head and was like, oh, well, there's no symptoms today, but there'll be some tomorrow, So I just kind of always put it off like it was nothing. Maybe it was something I ate, or, I had my first child when I was 18, and when I turned 20, I noticed the slight change in my bowel movements. And as the years went on, those slight changes became continuously worse. And I've, been dealing with it. So now it got to the point where, my uncle was telling me, hey, go get checked, and make sure you tell your doctor it's FAP, that your family has FAP. So when I told the doctor that, it was just like an automatic hit, colonoscopy. So June 27th of 2012, I finally had the courage to go through with the colonoscopy. It wasn't as bad as I assumed it was going to be. I was knocked out from anesthesia, so I woke up and didn't remember anything. So, upon getting discharged, the GI doctor who performed the colonoscopy, he came and brought me some images, and he let me know that I have a serious case of FAP and I need my colon removed. He said to take this serious and not put it off. So that was the news that I didn't want to hear, but it is something that I have to deal with. Like, waking up from the anesthesia, I was just like still sleepy, and boom, here goes these pictures and, the news that he told me, and it was just like, is this really me? Like, is this happening to me? Like, am I really awake, basically? So, so now I have to face the facts and continue on. So there are signs and symptoms of FAP. Just let me remind you that I'm only speaking from my research and my diagnosis with FAP and what I'm experiencing. So usually the polyps begin to form during teen years, and as time goes on, these polyps grow from hundreds to thousands, and these polyps may bleed, which leads to blood in the stool. The blood may or may not be visible. Then, with that comes the development of anemia. I experienced both of these symptoms, and for years I have been anemic and couldn't understand why until I was diagnosed. So, for the past 10 years I've always been anemic, and, I'm eating iron fortified foods and taking iron pills, and I'm, still anemic. I'm always tired, and sometimes I'm pale and don't feel well. So until I was diagnosed, now we know why I'm anemic. Some cases of FAP are not as severe as others. So, like my family members that have FAP, some of them have only had part of their large intestine removed, just where the polyps were at. So, whereas my case, my polyps are all the way up and down my large intestine, so it's too many for them to take out, and they're too big. Because while they're doing the colonoscopy, they will go in there and take out what they could or do biopsies on them. So, they did take some out to do the biopsies, and the results came back that they're not cancer right now, but over time, it will turn into cancer. So, um, there is no cure for FAP. Because it's a mutated gene, so there's no cure for that. They haven't found out how to fix that. They say there is treatment, but I wouldn't say that it's for FAP. The treatment is to reduce the risk of the polyps from turning into cancer. So since I have the APC mutation, I am at a 100% chance of developing colon cancer by the age of 40. This treatment is called the prophylactic surgery. I believe I'm saying that right. This is a surgery to remove an organ or gland that shows no signs of cancer, but it's an attempt to prevent the development of cancer of that organ or gland. So since I'm at high risk of developing colon cancer, I will be having a colectomy in which my entire colon or my large intestine will be removed. There are several surgical options, but the option I am offered is the Leo pouch anal anastomosis, or sometimes called the J pouch. So I just recently went to my colorectal surgeon, and he looked over my paperwork to see what my surgery options were, and if I was to have polyps in my rectum, then that would have to come out too, and I'd have an ostomy, for a permanent ostomy, which is where you'd have a bag on the outside where your waste would go. But luckily, that's not my case. So they're going to be reconstructing my small intestine down to my rectum while after they take my colon out. So while that's healing, I will have an ostomy for a while. It's not permanent, but it's just until my J pouch can heal. I still have more to research and more to learn, but from what I know, it's kind of hard to research. Like the people who have J pouches usually had ulcerative colitis, and that's totally different from FAP. We do go through the same process, but it's just for a different reason. So I will continue to do videos throughout my J pouch journey. So like after my first surgery, I will do a video on that and continue on my recovery. And then the second surgery on my takedown, I will do some more videos and see how my I have a FAP, an FAP pen pal. She does videos also, and she kind of inspired me to do this one. And I asked her, will you become normal again? And just how she said it, I have to agree with her. It's not going back to being normal. It's just a new normal. Like, it's a new life. It's a new lifestyle, basically. So that's something that I'm going to be adjusting to. I feel that FAP needs to be known, and that although it is rare, I'm not the only one who has it, and I'm not the only one that has to deal with it. There is a lot that comes with FAP, which will be discussed in other videos. I have researched on the J pouch as much as I could, and I feel I'm pretty comfortable with it. It's just something that I have to get used to, something I'm going to have to deal with. I mean, any option that I have is way better than living with colon cancer and dying at an early age. So there are a lot of people who have not heard of FAP, or there are those who need to learn more about it. So that's what I will be doing, is just making FAP more known, so people can know more about it, and it's affecting people. It's something that you can't see, something you can't feel. I mean, there are the symptoms of it, but some people don't even get symptoms. It's not contagious. Most of the time, it is hereditary. My FAP pen pal, hers wasn't hereditary. Like, she is the first one in her family to have it. So it was a gene mutation, and it just happened to her. And um, I just I'm glad that I get to talk to her. Like I could talk to my family members, but it's just those are my family members. Like it's something that they're comfortable with. Whereas I could get the outlook of it from somebody else in a totally different state. So this is gonna be ending my video here. Hopefully you guys subscribe or leave comments. Questions you have, feel free to ask. I will be leaving at the end of this video a link to my F.A.P pen pal. So subscribe to her also if you need to know more. Don't be afraid to ask any kind of questions. I mean, she would know more than me right now because I am just barely going through with it. She's done with her recovery. She's in her new normal right now. So subscribe, and I will get back to you. Thanks for watching.